What do you got for us today?
Well, thank you so much for inviting me on, and always it's a pleasure to be before such an esteemed panel. And of course, my girl Trisha, this is I think the first time, maybe the second time we've been on together. So you guys are you're gonna get double, okay? You guys are gonna get double. I don't know if you can handle it, okay? Because Trisha can hold it her own, okay? And I think I can do a little something. So get ready, all right? So two things. First thing is I've been spending some time in the market working with people. I've been on the phone with some really big leaders, and I don't know if you guys have recognized this, but people think that LiveGood is a health and wellness company, right? And so sometimes shifting that mindset to letting them know, hey, we're not pigeonholed into health and wellness. We are a membership-based company. Amazon started with books, as Nada always says, and now you'd be lucky to even find a book on Amazon, right? I mean, I literally bought pom-poms for my son's baseball, right, to be the cheerleader from Amazon, all right? So it's not a bookstore. LiveGood right now, we've started with high quality nutritional supplements because that's something that's recognizable. And I believe it gives the marketplace a really good feel of the quality that LiveGood brings to the table. But guys, Ben and Nader and Dr. Goodkin and Lisa, they can literally bring anything to our virtual warehouse, and it doesn't have to be health and wellness. It could be a cell phone cover. I'm not saying that's what they're doing, but it could be cell phone covers. It could be debit cards, right? It could be anything. And the point is that as you are sharing the value of LiveGood, try not to market or put yourself in a bucket where you're all about health and wellness, and you brand LiveGood as that, and then they add something that's not health and wellness, and now you're stuck, all right, and your market is confused. So number one, know that we are so much greater, and we offer so much more value, and we will be, right? They've talked about over 200 different SKUs coming up in the next year or so. So guys, remember who we are. We are not a health and wellness company, although we have amazing health and wellness products right now, but we are a membership model revolutionizing this industry. And there's nothing like us that exists. There isn't. There is no comparison, because we're the only company, well, maybe not the only, but we're the only one that has this much fun, as Nader would say, right? That is literally membership-based, no auto ship, no purchase requirements, and you literally buy what you want when you want, with having the privileges of membership. All right. So that's the number one thing. Know who we are so that you can communicate that effectively. And when people realize that we're different, I've had a lot of light bulbs and aha moments, and people say, okay, I'm ready to run, because now they get it. So that's number one. Number two would be just some basic things for network marketers, right? I mean, I know a lot of you guys are working really hard, including myself. I know Trisha as well, right? We're pushing for Diamond, and it's like these guys over in India. I don't know if they push a button and then everybody just joins. I don't know what they have. The Philippines, I don't know, but literally the United States, guys, we need to pick it up, okay? And Trisha and myself and other leaders within our organization, US based, guys, we're doing everything we can, but you guys have got to see it. You have got to want it. The opportunity that exists in the Philippines, the Filipino people, they see it. Do you guys get it? They get to market a business for $10 a month and have US dollars in the Philippines. They can change their lives overnight because of the difference in the value of the currency, okay? In India, same exact thing. In South Africa, oh my God, they are literally blowing up, going bananas and crazy. People are signing up left and right. Why? Because opportunity like this, they don't see it as often. I think in the United States, sometimes, maybe even North America, I'm not really sure about Canada. I don't live in Canada, right? But I would probably say that North America generally has a different perspective of the world, right? We're kind of spoiled. We're kind of like not in a great position, but people think we are. and we should be working a lot harder than what we are doing, because it's just the way the economic climate is in these days. And, you just don't know what's going on behind the scenes of some of these, political arenas. Not to make this a political call, because it's not. I just want you to understand that there's a lot of things taking place that in the United States, you're not used to seeing or experiencing, where people in the Philippines or South Africa or Nigeria or India or or Ghana or any of these places, they're used to different things taking place where they have to grab their families and hold it really, really close and do something about it. Well, here we're kind of dragging around. Okay, we're kind of dragging around. I hear the numbers that Ben says every single week. I know we're right at about 350,000 people worldwide, but I think it's like 40 or something thousand or some close to that in the United States. That's absolutely insane. The company is a US based company out of doggone Florida, and we're still playing around. So I want to really encourage people in the US to, don't believe everything that you see on TV like it's all glitz and glamour. You have to understand that a lot of changes are taking place. A lot of people are feeling the stress or duress, and you might not know it. You might not see it. They've got their internet and their phones, and they're still looking as if they're moving forward, but quietly at home, they're not necessarily doing so well. All right. And it's just pride and ego that a lot of us have. And so I want to just re-encourage our US based market, our North American market, even as a whole, to let's get on the ball. All right. Now, there are 10 things that almost all network marketers usually have a little challenge with. I don't like the word struggle or have a problem, but we have challenges. All right. So I'm going to go through these really, really quick and give you bullet points on how to handle them. Number one, the biggest thing is like generating leads, right? How do I get more leads? And I know Trisha has talked about this. I've talked about this. I know Tim has talked about this, right? And there's tons of different ways. I don't think there's any one way to meet people. But if we're going to, especially if we're in the US, if we're going to go and get as many people as we can, as quickly as we can, guys, Facebook really is, there's Google is number one. YouTube is number two. Facebook is the number 3 site in the whole entire world. Why would you want to avoid the place where all the people are? The strategies that you got to figure out how to navigate it a little bit, but that's where the people are, okay? And that's where I would say go and work with your leadership to figure out how to do that. Number two, sometimes we feel like there's a lack of support from their upline, and I get it. That may be true. I've had people in LiveGood contact me and say, oh, my upline is out. Right? They were in, but now they're out, and now I'm stuck, and I'm over here in this country, and I don't know this stuff. And I say, I hear you, but you've got to get plugged in. I don't know how to tell you where to go, but there's different groups, there's different chats. I know Tim has like 5,000 different chats that he's managing every day. I know that, there's all different types of things. I see it on my wall that people have different things. And so you've got to take the initiative to get in where you fit in and just figure that part out. Sometimes you're put in a position to be the leader, okay? And maybe this is the situation for you where now you have to be the leader. Number three, difficulty with time management. Some of you guys are working still full time. I do this full time, so it's a little different, okay, for me. But I do acknowledge that other people are doing this maybe 2 hours a day, right? Or 3 hours a day. And you got to figure out what to do. Here's my recommendation, that you specifically on a Sunday, let's start with it, on a Sunday, sit down and write out the things that you need to accomplish in your business. The most important thing you need to do is speak to people and generate leads. That's the most important thing you need to do. Then you need to follow up with those people, and then you need to pretty much, start ushering them in through calls and events and things like that and get them into the system. So I would sit down on a Sunday, I would write down, hey, Monday is my create content day, where I'm going to create 3 videos on Monday. Tuesday, I'm going to follow up with all of the leads I got. Wednesday, I'm going to, do some posting and engaging with other people. Thursday, I'm going to, take some pictures and make some quotes or something. And Friday, I'm going to get on the calls and just go to town. So let's just say those are things you're going to do. Well, then when you get your hour or your 2 hours dedicated for that time, guys, set an alarm. Set an alarm. If your work time for your LiveGood business is going to be from 5 to 7 p.m. or 7 to 9 p.m., set an alarm that starts at 7. It goes off in an hour. It goes off in an hour. And I'm telling you, there's something about knowing that you only have a certain amount of time that causes you to act within that period with a little bit more urgency, right? So set that alarm and then take a 15-minute break and then set the alarm for your second hour. That time management is going to save you, especially if you're working this business part-time. And this business is not even that hard. So really just focus on what you need to do. Set an alarm for those time blocks. We call it time blocking, and go from there. Number 4, lack of credibility. I hear it all the time. I know, Trisha, you probably hear it all the time. Tim does as well, especially in the field. Not or you as well. It's like, oh, well, I'm not a diamond, or I don't have I don't have the credibility, or I haven't had any success in the industry. Guys, you've got to learn how to do what I call pass. Okay. What is pass? Pass is in the traditional sense, it's like a three-way call. But in today's day and age, there's so many testimonials that you could literally go into any of these Live Good Facebook groups. You could grab a snapshot of something and you could share those testimonials on your wall. If there's a video of someone that you see that's done really, really well, download that video from YouTube or wherever it is and post it in your stories, post it on your wall, passing the credibility to someone else. It doesn't have to be you. You have to understand that, right? If I were in a weight loss company, which I have been before, I am not the poster child for weight loss. Like, I'm 140 pounds, okay? I am not that. But if I needed to sell weight loss, I would have to leverage somebody else's story to make my business work. So don't worry about your own credibility. Leverage and pass on to other people's credibility. Number 5, difficulty with sales. Okay, I know you're in a sales business, and I know some of your leaders may be like, oh, you're not selling, you're sharing. Okay, that may be true too, but it is a transaction at the end of the day. That is a sale. When you go to Walmart, okay, and you swipe your bananas, that is a sale on that cash register, on that self-checkout. That's a sale. That receipt comes out and it says sale. All right. So it's the same thing here. We are in sales. And so you're going to have to start tapping to some basic skills that you got to, I've said time and time again, it's like, you know that you need to update your iPhone when they give you a note, right? A notification. They'll say, hey, plug your phone in, and from 3 to 6, we're going to update the software, all right? So you're okay with your phone getting updated and additional skills, but you have to get updated skills too. So go learn some things, take some free classes, study different people that are on social media, or maybe even your direct leadership or upline. They have education and training and support. Tap into that and update your own education and your operating system so that you can operate and be competitive. This is 2023, okay? If you are still messing around with 8 tracks and this type of stuff, I promise you, you're not going to do as well as someone who understands that streaming is the new way that music is distributed, all right? You can hold on to the 8-track if you want and try to convince, but it'd be so much better if you just update your OS and get with the streaming, okay? So get with Live Good from that standpoint. Number 6, challenges with motivation. We all go through it, okay? I'm a human being. I am a human being. I know Dr. Brown is a human being, Nader and Trisha and Tim and Ben even as well. Lisa, we're human beings. There's no person that is 100% on top of the world all the time. And sometimes we have people that we trust, people that we talk to, people that talk us off the ledge, right? There's been plenty of times where people have to remind me, wait a minute, girl, you got to get yourself together. Hey, you forgot this about yourself. You forgot about that. So be conscious of who you spend your time with. Be aware of the circle of people that you are around, that you are communicating with on a regular basis. If your family is not that supportive, I'm not saying, and they live in your house, I'm not saying ignore them, but I am saying that that's probably not the environment that you're going to go to when you need a boost, when your cup needs a little bit of filling, okay? And if it's a spirituality, if it's, you got to talk to God about it or whatever, that's fine too. But what I'm saying is, it is, as an entrepreneur, you are not operating in an employee mindset. Entrepreneurship, you have to go and motivate yourself. It's called inspiration. It's nobody's responsibility. As much as Tim does, it's not his job to motivate every single Facebook chat group, Live Good arena, so that you can feel pumped up for the day. You got to pump yourself up. And that's just kind of the bottom line on that. Number 7, lack of differentiation. There's 350,000 people in Live Good. If you are posting the exact same thing that every single person is posting, you're going to have a lack of differentiation. So tap into your creativity. Look at what other people are doing, yes, but then figure out how to model what they're doing and make it your own. Trisha does amazing well. Like she posts about Live Good, but if you guys know, like I watch her strategy on what she does, right? What she does really, and I don't know if she wants me to tell it, but I'm going to tell it, girl. Okay, look, see, what she does is she'll take a beautiful picture of herself, right? It's of herself. So if you're scrolling the wall, you might not see Live Good on the post because it's a picture of herself. But then she's got a pretty decent length description where she's telling a story about Live Good, or telling a story about the industry, or telling a story about a person that she prospected or who prospected or whatever it was. She's got something in there, which means that she could take the same information that we both got from Nader, and she doesn't post exactly what Nader posts. She reconstructs it, reverse engineers it, and makes it Trisha's. So you've got to do that. Stop asking guys, hey, do you have a flyer? Do you have a this? Go to Canva. Go to canva.com. Post something, create it, okay? Take it, manipulate it in a good way, make it a good light of Live Good, and post that doggone thing, and use your own creativity to do that so that you can show up with some differentiation. Number 8, difficulty with follow-up. Listen, follow-up for me is a simple thing, all right? Why? Because I build an email list. So literally maybe an hour before these calls, I literally go in there, I push a button, and I send a pre-written email to all of my pre-enrollees and all the leads that I have, right? So that's that. I know Trisha probably has some ways that she does some things as well. Tim probably has a method that he uses, and other people have different things. So you've got to figure out how you can mass invite the people that have already taken another step, which would be your pre-enrollees. How can you get them engaged? Okay. But you got to create a systematic way for yourself by which you do that. If it's going in and putting the email address in for every person like Trisha does, and then sending them where they are in the power line, knock yourself out. If it's sending out an email to 500 people that's pre-enrolled that haven't enrolled yet, knock yourself out. If it's getting in the DMs and you only have 5 people that pre-enrolled, fantastic. Utilize the ability to tap into a small group of people as acutely as you can, but you've got to follow up. There's no way around it. You're not going to beat the system by thinking that Live Good, because they have the emails coming in, that it does a really, really good job. But I'm telling you, the personal touch that you add to that, you got to stay in people's faces, right? If you are on any major retailer's email list, they are literally emailing you on a constant basis. Every single day, I am getting something from Netflix because they want me to resubscribe now for $6.99, right? Every day it's come back, come back, come back, come back. Are you doing that? Because if you're not in your customer's face, they are being bombarded by the brands who are. And so you're losing them to that, all right? Number 9, limited budget. So you might need to do some advertising, some things of that sort. I know our Diamond Jessie Garcia has put up different flyers and things like that, the tear-off tabs. I even took the tear-off tab thing. What did I do? I reverse engineered it. I put my own brand colors on it, and I made it my own and posted it. I probably will print it, okay? I'm not like the offline person, but I'll find some places to post it and people can tear off or what have you. But there's tons of different things that you can do for little to no cost. Again, social media organically is free, but it's either you're going to pay with your time, which is free, or you're going to pay with your money, which is not free. So if you don't have a lot of money for advertising and marketing, then you've got to go to town. And my mom used to say, put some elbow grease in it. You got to get busy, and you got to post on social media consistent, so that people see that you're serious about this doggone thing. You post one time, they're like, oh yeah, we've seen that. But then that's it. And because you didn't sign anybody up, you're done promoting it. And now you're promoting something else. And then your whole market is completely confused because they don't know how it all ties in. So be consistent. Maybe find some flyers. Go to Craigslist. Be creative. Start doing some searches. How do I? Guys, Google still works. I know it's easy to be in a group and say, how do I add my name? Like, Google it, okay? When in doubt, YouTube it out. There you go, okay? You can go to YouTube as well. And then number 10 would be lack of training, which I just do not believe there's a lack of here in Live Good. I do not believe there's a lack of training. Okay, it is not Nader's job. It's not Ben's job. It's not Dr. Goodkin or Lisa's job. They are running corporate. Their job is to do a couple of things. Make sure that our products exist and get shipped when people order them. Their job is to pay us on time the right amount of money. Okay, and that's why you hear Ben get on here and say, hey, June 8th is the day, the next time, right? So he's setting the stage. He's being transparent from a corporate perspective. letting you know, here's what's going on customer support. Here's what's going on shipping. Here's what's going on with the study, Dr. Good, right? They're giving us what corporate's supposed to be doing. So if they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, the question is, what are you supposed to be doing? So you're supposed to be tapping into training, or how about this? You go learn something and you teach it. Right?
Ooh.
That's a novel idea. How about you go to any of the previous rank advancement call videos on YouTube, learn something that Curry talked about, learn something that Trisha talked about. If there's something I've said that you've learned, take that bit of information. There's no download that has not been downloaded into someone else before. There's no new information, okay? But people have to, they might hear it differently from you. The way that you say it, the way that you deliver it, the way that you put your oomph into it, it might impact them differently. So take something that somebody else may have already said and re-say it in your own words and teach it to your market and your team. And I promise you, you will start to develop the leadership skills that you need. And if in doubt still with all of that, guys, I just highly suggest you go to the YouTube channel. There's tons of, if you want to know about any product, there is no lack of product information. Okay. There is literally no lack of, Tim does the Saturday training call, right? I mean, come on, everybody could be on that. It's a basic call. He goes over the same stuff every freaking week. Then it's the silver and above call. He goes like, you guys have, there's no lack is the point. There's only abundance. All right. And so I'm just going to encourage everyone to tap in, utilize those might be some challenges, but those are the solutions I've given you with the challenges. So you can't just say I listed out challenges and I want everybody to go to work. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to you, Ben. Thank you so much.
That was awesome, Tracy. Thank you so much. I took a whole page of notes. I could elaborate on like every one of those 10 things, but